Well, they might be man's best friend, but more than 4,000 Australians are admitted to hospital for dog bites every year. And just last week, a savage attack made news when pets owned by celebrity chef Colin Fassnidge were brutally mauled by 3 dogs in his neighbourhood.
They had each end of the terrier and were pulling it apart, and the other one was in the middle. I thought she was dead. She was in the gutter. She was covered in blood. This was horrific. Like, I couldn't sleep last night. I've got injuries to my legs, injuries to my back, and this one was horrific. And I'm not taking it. I'm done.
It was the 3rd time Colin's dogs had been attacked in his Sydney neighbourhood. In New South Wales, American Staffordshire Terriers, Bull Terriers, cattle dogs and German Shepherds are the main breeds involved in the recent attacks. Joining us is Director of Your Vet Online, Dr. Leigh Davidson, and little Nelson, who's not on that list of breeds, a Chihuahua cross, I reckon, Leigh. Have I got it right?
Oh, I think so.
Okay, mainly because Leigh told me about a minute ago. I'm not a dog person, but I'm delighted to see Nelson in here and so well behaved. This particular attack on Colin Fassnidge's dog, it sounded particularly vicious. Is this becoming more common?
Look, I think we are seeing a few more dog attacks, either from roaming dogs or from those in the off-leash dog parks.
Now, we did mention the breeds which are statistically involved in the reported incidents. Is this because there are more of those dogs, or are those dogs more aggressive, or is it because when those breeds bite, the outcomes are more serious?
Yes, those dogs are more represented. However, as you just said, it's often because they are a bigger dog, and big dogs make more damage. So of course they're going to, a little dog like Nelson here, it's not going to do quite the same amount of damage as one of those larger breeds.
Yeah, it might be bad for the postie's ankles, but no serious damage. Serious point now, I mean, we often hear that it's not the dog that is the problem, but it is the owner.
Yeah.
As a vet, how true do you think that statement is?
Look, I think it does have bear a lot of truth. Owners are often distracted. They're not doing as much training with their dogs as perhaps they could. But yeah, it's definitely an owner problem as well as environmental. And some breeds of dogs, it might be a family line that has an issue with aggression.
So, and perhaps maybe they've come from rescued dogs or that sort of thing in the breeding, you mean? Or it could be that just some of their family members going back had been aggressive types?
Look, it's a genetic, it can be a little bit genetic, so we're not saying a breed is specifically going to be aggressive. What we do say is that some family lines, so we do find that you breed for different things. So you're talking about rescue dogs. Look, some of those dogs, it's nothing to do with their breed, purely the fact that they've had a rough environment and they've had a rough life.
Interesting when you were talking about the owners and distraction. I mean, in a sense, it's no different to driving distracted or minding children when you're distracted.
Yeah.
You need to be ever vigilant when you're looking after your pets as well.
Yes, like one thing I notice a lot now is at the park, you'll see people on their phones. They're not watching their dogs, they're not keeping an eye on to see whether their own dog is maybe uncomfortable with other dogs around them and are perhaps nervous. They're also not noticing whether their own dog is perhaps bullying and becoming over-aroused with other dogs around and needs to be removed.
Yeah, so no different really to looking after little humans, is it? Leigh, thank you. Really, really good discussion, important. And Nelson looks beautiful this morning. What are you feeding him? What's the...
Oh, he lives the life of Riley. His mum looks after him very well. He's on a nice kibble and he has the odd large bone, like what we talked about the other time. And of course his mum uses Your Vet Online for her veterinary care.
He's a very happy little camper. Good to see you, Nelson. Lovely to see you, Leigh.
Thank you.
Thank you.